everyone, Amanda here, thanks so much for joining me. So today I'm going to show you a flip through of this beautiful Shabby Chic journal in hope that it gives you some ideas and inspiration in your journal making. I've made this for a friend, Karen, so Karen W, if you're watching, go make a brew, go see to the puppy, you know, go do a bit of dusting, nosy what the neighbours are up to, just don't watch because I want it to be a surprise, but I'm not sure when this video will go live as to whether I've posted it or not. Anyway, I think she's gone. So one other thing I just want to say is round about here at the end of the video on your screen you'll see some suggested videos. I'm going to leave a playlist, and I'm also going to leave it in the description box below because I've created lots of journals. No two of my journals are ever the same. Each one is unique. I design each one differently. They're never ever, I've not produced two journals that are exactly the same. I think one time I did two at the same time, and that was my French blue journals because I gave one away and sold one. But other than that, I've never created two the same, and I've got an extensive playlist because I've done design teamwork for the Graphics Fair, Artie Maze, Ephemera's Vintage Garden and A Whimsical Adventure. So I've made quite a lot of journals, so there's loads of inspiration on there, so go and have a look. I've done Sherlock Holmes, I've done Shabby Chic, I've done Vintage, I've done botanical, I've done a mermaid one, a sewing theme one. There's all sorts on there. Go and have a look. Alright, so let's have a look at this. So it's a chipboard cover, okay, covered with vintage fabric. You can see the fabric there, vintage curtain fabric. I've wrapped a doily around, and we've got this beautiful applique wrapped around the spine. This button card is a digital printable from Sample Designs on Etsy. So is this, so is all of these and all of these. That's mostly what I've used in the journal where I've used digits. It's not all digits. So these little buttons I made myself. They're popped up on foam to make it look like they've been bought from the shop, not used yet. Okay, so we've got a seam binder closure here, and it's attached to here, and we've got little book corners on each of the four corners. So from the side here you can see it's quite chunky. There's 132 pages front to back, but I've not rammed it full of ephemera. The reason being, the lady that it's going to is a journal maker herself, and so I thought if I left lots of plain pages maybe she could add to it, or maybe she would write in it. So yeah, okay, so if we go inside, first of all we've got the front cover, which is layered over with graphic 45 paper. I think that's come from the Baby to Bride collection, which is an old one. We've got some lace down here just to hide that spine a bit, because I had to readjust because it was a bit stiff, and it had cracked a right little bit there, but you know, just covered it over with some lace, it's fine. And then we've got this beautiful lace here, and I've done it so that it just peaks just at the bottom there, and we've got it at the back so it just peaks as well. Alright, and then it's not really meant to be a pocket, but it just so happened that you could just tuck that, so I've added another little button card that I made, and these little buttons I made with a napkin. I do have a video on those. Right, so my friend's birthday is in March, so we've got some Edith Holden pages with March on. And I've layered it with, on the edges with some very delicate, very pretty lace. Okay, then we've got some coffee dyed pages, and these are created using plastic decorative placemats. You know, you stain your paper, put the mats over the top and leave them to dry in the sunshine or wherever, and you end up with this lovely pattern. So these are some little clusters that I made out of my box of shame. I've got videos on that. And these little envelopes I made out of Amazon packaging, and I've got a video on those as well. Okay, I've done some stenciling, and I've used like a dusky pink colour to ink where I can. So this is my faux cabinet card. I've also got a video on this. I think I've glued it in. Have I glued it in? Ugh, I'll have to loosen that later. I've just re-glued that side there earlier because it was coming a little bit loose, and I think I've glued it shut. I've glued it in. Not to worry, I'll loosen that later. So I've got a video on that. Okay. Beautiful, more stenciling, and I've added some leftover paint on there. Every page has been, you know, rolled over with gesso just to add a bit of texture and make it feel nice and tactile. Well, apart from this one, I didn't do it on these. On the ones that would take it, we've got some tissue there. I just like the crinkly. And then here I've done some stamping. This is a magnolia stamp, and then we've got crackle stamp. More lace edging. This is the centre of the first signature. Look how beautiful that coffee dyed paper is. And then on here I've added one of my faux vintage fabric sample books, which is cute. And the centre of the signature I've added little hearts on. Okay. More paper for writing, dictionary paper then. Here I've got one of my altered envelopes, which is a video that was up this week. Have a look in my videos and you'll see a process video for this. I did 3, all you know, so that it'd match and there'd be some consistency. We've got modelling paste, napkin, stamping. Beautiful, beautiful to make. And these little dangles here are made by my friend Kay. Apologies for the lighting, it's really sunny outside, so then it interferes with my video lighting. Even though I've got the main light on and a ring light on, it's still quite dark, so I am sorry. So on this one we've got crackle and text stamping, nice raggedy edge there, and here's my little handmade vintage, shabby vintage tag. I've got a video on these as well and how I made them, and then at the back there we've got some more beautiful stenciling. I love stenciling. Okay, and that's the back side of that March Edith Holden page. How pretty is that? And it's aged, you know, yellow with age. I've not distressed any of that. That's just natural book aging. So there's the gap in between. I like to leave 3/8 of an inch gap in between each of my signatures so that the book's got room to move when it's closed. Okay. So there we've got some more of that lovely coffee dyed paper, another one of my scrappy ephemera bits and bobs. This is, I've turned into a paper clip. This is a paper ruffle. I've got a video on this, so it's all ruffled up without the sewing machine. I just glue it. You can do it by just gluing it, and then added the lovely cluster, and then I've actually added a paper clip on the back of this one. So this then opens up like so for writing, and it's just a scrap piece of ledger paper, and in the back there we've got a faux vintage letter. Photo, beg your pardon, not a letter. So we've got some writing page. These are digital ledger pages. I think this one's from Graphics Fairer, and this one is, don't know where that one's from, can't remember. This coffee dye one is one I use a lot. It's a coffee dye printable. So you know, if you're doing an image on one side, then you want to print on the back. I have this on my desktop, and this one's from Artie Mays, and I use it a lot because I like this. Okay. Not sure where that's from, can't remember. Lots of room for writing, or like I say, for her to add her own things in. She could maybe add pockets and her own ephemera that she's made if she so desires. That's why I've not rammed it full. And then here we've got this lovely little charm. Let me just move you closer. Look how pretty that is. And that's just a safety pin with beads on, and my friend Kay made that. What a simple but pretty idea. Just little seed beads. I think it's fab. Another one of my altered envelopes with the, you know, we've got the napkin there, and then it's on the back panel as well, so that it looks pretty on both sides. Okay. So if you check out the video on that, I show you every bit of the process of it. Right, so here we've got some more of this beautiful coffee dyed paper, and the centre of this signature. So this is the middle signature, so there's 3 signatures, this is the middle one, so I've made a bit more of a fuss of this one. And I've added these beautiful pockets from Graphics 45 paper, and it's the same paper that's layering the inside of the front and back. I just used it, and I literally just rip because I like the ripped edges, and made a 2-layer pocket. So all you're doing is ripping the paper, gluing it on 3 sides, then ripping, turn the paper over if it's double-sided, and rip it and add another layer. It's that simple. But what I've done to make it look beautiful is I've added these really delicate die cuts here that one of my friends sent me. My friend Lynn sent me heaps of die cuts because she's got billions of different dies. And I just thought that looked pretty on there, just something a little bit different. The tabs are done again, and then in the pockets here we've got large images from Sam Powell. How pretty are those? So she's actually taken these photos. She has these things in her actual possession and takes photos of them, and then, you know, we'll add those photos to her digital collections, and that's what makes her work just that little bit different to other digital creators. Isn't that pretty? And that's the main thing. So she actually owns this box of vintage whatever they are, threads. It looks like bits of wool or embroidery floss, and this jar of buttons. So she's positioned them in her craft studio, taken photos, and hey ho, there you go. This is my faux vintage slide that I created. I did a video on this, and this is the original one that I made, so I thought I'd gift that to Karen. Little more envelopes. This one's just made out of something out of my box of shame and clusters, leftovers. More beautiful stenciling, and then in between the stenciling we've got this crackle stamp. Stunning. Love it. Lots of writing space, gessoed over the book page there so that you can write on it. Okay. And this, I love this ledger page. Absolutely love it. That's on the Graphics Fairy premium site. Okay, and then we've got another March page there. So we've got one in the first signature and one in the last signature. That's got lovely eggs on. I nearly did all of the book in the blue instead of the pink, but I went for pink. And we've got another beautiful pictures there. More scrappy tags. This is some paper from my Creative Studio box that I did. I kept the paper and I've turned it into a page there, just added some gesso. Okay, so we've got another one of these cabinet cards here, it's meant to slide out like that, so I'll unstick that other one that's stuck. Beautiful. I love making those. Lots of writing space. Crackle. I love it. I forgot I had that stamp and it's lovely. So here's the centre of another signature, and I've added another one of these fabric swatches. That's like curtain fabric. And this is a bag that one of my friends sent me some butterflies as Happy Mail, and I think they were in this little like decorated glassine bag. So I've added that to this page here, so that that's a pocket, and there's another card in there. Did I add any? The only thing I added to that was that butterfly. So that's lovely, isn't it? So I do reuse things. Absolutely. Another one of my handmade cards with a cluster with my handmade buttons on, that are all on the video. My beautiful stenciling. Love stenciling. I could do it all day long. That's the back side of that lovely paper. Another handmade tag. Beautiful. Love making them. And there's the back side of the March paper. It's so pretty. And the back there I've decorated with the lovely lace as well. Okay, and that completes our flip through. So don't forget to check out the playlist. It'll either be coming up on your screen right about now, or it'll be in the description box below. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.